Hello everyone, Blade God here, and I'm here to show you a tutorial on how to make your own custom multi-stage transformation. Before we begin, I want to point out we have still not made the lineup roster for the tournament, so you still have time to submit your characters onto the Discord server, linked below. I will be putting timestamps on this video to assist you if there's a certain part of the video that you want to look over in this tutorial, because this will be a decently long video. I also have linked below the text version of the tutorial so you can grab all the needed software items that you need to do this. So besides that, let's begin with step 1. What transformations you want to use. I already grabbed everything I want, but for an example to show you how you grab what you need, I'm going to open up the WinRAR of the Legends transformations. It is preferred that you have a base skill that you're going to combine everything into. So, of course, Super Saiyan being the first stage for my thing. I didn't even realize I spelled that wrong. Hold on a second. With Super Saiyan being the first base skill that I desire, that's going to be the base where I combine everything into. But to extract what you want from a transformation, you would go into here, pick the skill you want, open it, and then drag the jungle and skill into the base file folder. And then with like all the transformations you want, you'll be doing that and you'll be set. So, that also goes over step 2. So, you know, that was quick as hell. So, step 3, combining EPKs. So let's begin that. So as you can see, there is a 0 through 3 for this EPK for the first form. So let's open the second stage and show you what you got to do. So you've then opened the next form you want to do. For this, be the second stage, Super Saiyan 2. You open the EPK for that, and then you Control A, then Control C, and then go back to the original EPK for the base form. You go here and paste it. Then you see you don't want duplicates for shit, right? So you're going to increase this by 100. And that fixes your issue. And so on. So when we go to the other EPKs to the other forms, so Super Saiyan 3 will be, 200. Rose, 300. Rose Ultra Super Villain, 5. No, not 5, but 400. Wait, hold on. Sorry, I lost track of my numbers. 100, 200, 300. Yeah, 400. So yeah. So I'm going to speed through a bit on that part since... Actually, no, I'm going to show it to you one more time so you can get the gist. And then I'll speed through the other ones. So, Super Saiyan 3. Open this up. Control A. Control C. Open this back up. Paste. 200. That's 2,200. There you go. Now I'm going to speed through the last two forms. Okay, so I'm gonna keep the EPK open because you're gonna need it for a later step. So keep that in mind. Oh, I almost forgot. You can't do anything if you don't file and save the new updated EPK. Oh, I also almost completely forgot. Important step you gotta do. I did not know that. Hold on. I forgot that there's a very important step you have to do when doing the EPK is go to the P bind and on settings change spawn limit to 128. Change load to 600 and I12 to 600. You'll never usually need to change this anywhere higher from 128, and 600 is the safest bet for both of these. So now you save. Oh, wait. Yeah. So now you'll save, and that's the EPK done. And I'll be keeping the EPK open for the next step. Now, best to check if it was saved correctly, and by the looks of it, it was. Now, we're on to step 4. Is the sound files that you have to combine. Now, this might be difficult because, as you can see right here, my Ultra Super Villain does not have a sound file. And that's perfectly fine. It shouldn't affect too much, but it's usually really good to have, skills that have sound files when you're trying to, combine them. So we're going to open up Ace. And then we are going to open up the AC B file that's inside of the jungle for the first skill. Yep. So best to do for this is rename them. So I'm going to name this SSJ0, SSJ1, SSJ2. Now this labeling is going to become very important in one of the later steps. So that's why it's best to label these, because these do become important in later steps. So now, we similarly do, for this, we basically do the same thing we did for the EPK. We open up the jungle for the next skill, grab it, Control A, Control C, go back to this one, paste, and then do the labels again. SSJ2, 0, SSJ2, 1, SSJ2, 2. I'm going to do it for one more time, and then I'm going to get us to the next step. So, go back, go to Super Saiyan 3, open that up, Control A, Control C, go back to here, paste it, label it, SSJ3 0, SSJ3 1, SSJ3 2, SSJ3 3. Now I'm going to do it for Rose, since that's the only one that left that has a sound file. And then when you're usually done with that, you'll of course, actually I'll show you what you do once I done this. Okay, congrats. Now since you have them all organized, you're not gonna do this the exact save as usual. So what you're going to do is save as, get back to the base audio jungle, go to this, and we are going to then grab this and rename it. So I'm going to rename it Ultra Villain, and then save it. And then we go back to this and delete the old one and keep our new one. Because our mixed audio is going to be important for, obvious reasons. Now, I'm also going to keep the ace up as well because the numbers we have on it are important for later. So now, step 5. Combining the ENs. So you open up your EN organizer. Yippee, we're here. Now, we go to the EN of the first skill. And this is going to be important because what we do in the EN, we're going to have to do to the female EN, female cam EN, and the normal cam EN. So, for this, I am just going to show you the EN and the cam EN normally, and then I can assume you guys can manage this on your own. So what I'm going to do here is label this, rename Super Saiyan, and then we're going to load Super Saiyan 2. Because it's best to label your ENs, make it less confusing for yourself. Lucky me, this one's already named Super Saiyan 2. And on the last animation on the EN, because sometimes these have more than one, which you might possibly see on the as we go on with the other forms. So you're then gonna press append, and there you go. So I'm going to then do it again for Super Saiyan 3. Then I'm gonna speed it through and show you guys the cam EN. So open up this, open up Super Saiyan 3's EN, copy, append, rename, Super Saiyan 3. There you go. Now I want to speed through the last forms. Okay. When you have all that done, you just save the EN. So there you go. And you get that saved. So now we move on to the press OK. Now I move on to the cam EN, which is gonna be basically the same, but I want to show it off anyways in case people get lost or confused. Because if you can manage the EN and the cam EN, then the female parts of it shouldn't be complicated. First rename this Super Saiyan Cam. Then load Super Saiyan 2. Then rename that. I know you might be questioning why I label all these. It just helps you a lot if you have these labeled for later steps, because it'll make it less confusing. So I 100% recommend you label these. If you don't want to, that's fine. I just recommend it because it helps me out and it could help you out. So right now, rename this Super Saiyan 3 Cam, and then I'm going to just, speed through this, then skip off me doing the female cam parts, and then I'll meet you guys back for part 6. Okay, got all that done. We save the cam. I'm going to just skip through me doing the cam for all the female parts, and then I'll meet you guys back for part 6. Okay, everyone, and we're back onto part 6, part 1. Well, step 6, part 1. So, which we need to open the back file. And if you have questions about the female camion for the female base, I know the last form in the transformation that I'm using doesn't have, like, female cam. So I just use the only camion they have in there and hope that it's gonna work by the end of this video. If not, well, fuck. Let's hope you guys don't, like, do what I did, I guess, when it comes to a final transformation skill. Let's hope you guys only use the Legends transformations from True HQ. So, we open up the back organizer. Now, the back folder, this is going to be a little bit more complicated. That's why this is split up into multiple parts on one step, because this is probably the most difficult part you have to go through in this tutorial. So, we got these back files, all this for the first stage. We got no issue here. So let's first open the back again and grab the back file for Super Saiyan 2. That should not be difficult, right? For each form that we do moving forward on the back file when we're merging them, right here, I open up Super Saiyan 2's back file. You are only going to need entry 0. This is the only entry that you need to copy. So you copy that. Then under here, we press add. That didn't go right. Hold on. Okay, so under here, I'm trying to remember how we do. I think we do. We're trying to append it. So yeah, append entry copy. There you go. I fucked up. I had a hell of a fuck up there. So let's try that again for Super Saiyan 3. So I'd feel less stupid. So Super Saiyan 3. skill, back, entry 0, copy, append, entry copy. There you go. Let me grab for the last two forms, and then we'll get to part 2 of this, because there's only 4 major parts of the back, and then like a 5th bonus one. I'll show off the 5th part for step 6 as well, just in case. But we only have 4 that really matter: animation, effect, camera, sound. That's all that matters. 5th is system, but again, it doesn't matter. The system is not important. It doesn't do much, but if you want to edit it, you can. Let me speed through this and we'll get to part 2 of step 6. Here we go! Part 2 of step 6, animation. So let's get to entry 3. So all you're gonna need to do when messing with animation, skill again. Yep, this is the only part that matters. And so, for this, en index 1. Yeah, that's it. So that means for 4, 2, for 5, 3, for 6, 4. So I'm going to show that anyways, because it's going to be quick and simple. So for all skill ENs, you just got to do this, the index, and you'll be Gucci. Cool. Yeah, that was literally. This is going to go by fast if you just pay attention. Step 6, part 3, effects. Let's go to the effects of entry 3, and we're just gonna have to edit every single one that has skill in it. And that's why I told you to keep open. That's why I decided to keep open the EPK organizer. Because as you can see now, it's important. So skill 1. Effect ID. You see how this is 0? That 0 is the 100 in here. So each one, you just gotta do the adage of that you did on the EPK. So, first one, 100. Then this one, 100 again. This one, 104. Wrong one. This one, 100 again. 100 again. Etc. Yada yada. I'm just showing this off because I know some people are going to need to look through this, because I know some people can get confused on things, so I'm just going to show it off for this, and then I'm going to show it off for Super Saiyan 2, and then I'm going to skip it off for everything else, because I'm pretty sure if once you see like 2 of these done, it's kind of self-explanatory, and you don't need to watch me do the other ones, and I can just go to the next part, because yeah, as you can see, all follows these numbers. So let's go to Super Saiyan 2, and that will be basically the same. So effects, skills, for this, instead of 100, it's 200, because as you can see in the EPK, 200 and etc. This has a little bit less in it, but all the same, to be honest. So get through this, and then I'll skip through the last few forms, and we'll move on to step 4, which is camera after this. So let's show off just a few more. So 204, 203, 202, and now I'm going to skip through these, and we'll be all good. Okay, we're back for step 4, the camera. which then only has us needing to do, skill, but we don't affect anything on this side. We're going to the EN bone. And as you can see here, this is all we need to affect. So simple to do this, just one, then just do it the fuck again, two, and then do it the fuck again with fucking three, and then you do it one last time with four. Yeah, that's that simple. It's so self-explanatory. So yeah, one, two, three, four. Yeah, it's nothing. So let's just get to part 5, because God, I'm losing my mind in this heat. Part 5 of step 6, sound. Now, this is going to be a bit more complicated because of what I have done of picking a skill that does not have a sound folder, which is the skill I'm using for Ultra Supervillain, does not have a sound folder. That is a issue for this, because that means I cannot edit it whatsoever. But I'm going to hope that that doesn't affect anything. Again, if you're doing it with just the Legends transformations, like the first few forms in this skill do, then you'll be perfectly fine. You'll have no issues, and you won't have the complications that I'm having. So I recommend using True HQ's Legends transformations when you're making these multi-stage forms, because it will help you a shit ton. So, again, have the ace open for a reason. As you can see, Super Saiyan 2, 0, that's what we're on, right? You're going to have to change the number in the skill SE to what's in the QID. So 0 for SSJ2 for me is 3. And you see QID 0. We change that to 3. You just change it to what correlates. And it's simple as that. So 0, 3. 1, 4. Simple as that. I want to show it off again for Super Saiyan 3. And then I'll see you guys again on the bonus step, on the bonus part for step 6, which is system, which is not something you have to do, but it's something I'll show anyways in case you want to do it. So for this is 6, for this 1, it's 7, for the 3, oh, that was an accident, for the 3, it's 9, for the 0 again, it's going to be 6, and for the 2, it's 8. Yeah. So, in short, that's why I had you label the sounds, because that will help you with this. So I'm going to now speed through the last 2 forms, and I will meet you on the last part of step 6. Now we're back onto the bonus step. Step 6. The last part of step 6, system. Now, again, it's a bonus because, it's not necessary, but you're making a multi-stage. So it's recommended, and I mean highly recommended, you do this when you're doing a multi-stage. Again, but you do not have to, but I will recommend that you do. So for this, we're going to be doing copy, activate transformation. in the system. Then add system copy. Now you pick one of these and you reduce start time by 1 and raise function by 1. And that's it. You just do that for each one in the system. So reduce this by 1, reduce start time by 1, up function by 1. So I'm going to show it one more time. System, activate, copy, add system copy, reduce by 1, up it by 1, and there you go. And I will do this for the last two as well, and then we'll move on to part 7. Of course, don't forget, when you're done with these, you always have to save them. But we're going to do these, and then we're going to get to part 7. Congratulations! You're almost done! We're on step 7! Now I'm going to warn you, compared to the text tutorial, step 8 for this is step 9 on that, because for us, we're not going to do a BCS, because this is not a CAC transformation skill. This is a transformation skill for your modded X2M. So we do not need to create a BCS attachment. But if you are trying to do this as like a custom CAC skill and all that, then I suggest reading the tutorial on step 8 and step 9 on the tutorial. But for us, step 8 would just be making the X2M, and we'd be done there and then. Okay, so let's start on step 7 and get this nice and over with. So, opening up the BCM. And now, we shall label these as well. So, labeling these, I'm just gonna label them as shown. So, entry 1, Super Saiyan. Then entry 2, Revert. Floating. Entry 3, Revert. Standing. Awesome. So, we are then just gonna get rid of, like, one of these reverts. And usually, I just get rid of revert standing. Cool. Doesn't fucking matter. So, we then open up BCM again. Yippee. Awesome. We're doing great. I'm sorry if I sound like a smartass. It is so hot here. I am losing my mind. So then, BCM for Super Saiyan 2. And we are going to do the typical. Simple as this. Copy. Yippee. Now, over here, right under the first form, append. I'm going to label this as well, because I like not being confused. Awesome. Now, this confuses me, so I'm just going to close this out and then open it again to grab Super Saiyan 3. Append again. Add my comment. Super Saiyan 3. Awesome. Now, I'm going to skip me appending Rose and Ultra Super Villain, and then we're going to get to the next few parts of doing, transformation, yada yada. Okay, now we're on to like only two more things we need to do, which is the Activator tab, the Back tab, and the Miscellaneous tab. So first, we're going to start with the obvious, the Activator tab. So for this, we are going to uncheck base form and do transformed. Yeah, that's simple. And we're gonna do that for all of these. So in case it's not sunk in, uncheck base form, do transformed, uncheck base form, do transformed. Simple as that. Now we go to the back file. So, BAC entry targeting. And for... Actually, no. What am I thinking about? We don't touch this. Airbone. So, the back entry for this was 3. 3. So yeah, we put the 3 down for that, and the 3 down for primary. So, Super Saiyan 2 has 3, 3, which means for Super Saiyan 3, 4, 4. If you need, look back at your back entry if you ever get confused. Now for Rose, 5, 5. And for this, 6, 6. Yeah, and that's simple. So then, we only have one part left for all these forms. And then we get to make the X2M, and I can show it off on the character. So, miscellaneous. That's the fun part. Whew. You can change the key if you desire. Right now, don't really need to do that, so we're just changing the stage step. So, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. Nothing to it. And then we save that, and you're done with the PCM. Okay, so I'm a little fucking stupid, and I forgot you have to do something in entry 6, and that's uncheck this, so you're able to de-transform while in the air and de-transform when on the ground. I forgot to show that, but I'm showing that now, and so now your BCM is completely fine for you to go to the next step. And so now, it's just making the X2M. I'm going to show that as well, in case you don't know how to. So I'll see you on our final step of the tutorial. Okay, we are on this final step. Now, I know you possibly have learned the transformation thing if you saw the character tutorial that I made. If you've seen that, then this should be simple. Because, you've done it already. But I'm going through some parts that are different on this than there were on that. So like right on this one, on it comes to this. First, in your skill, in the skill folder, get rid of the backup folder. Don't don't have that in there. Might fuck things up. So all you need, skill in jungle, and all of it's on the base. So first, generate, name it with my author thing, then name it what its skill is. I'm just gonna call it Super Saiyan through Ultra Super Villain. I'm gonna copy that and put it here. I'll put a random description. Saiyan form for half Kai's. Skill type, Awaken. Entry 0 is the obvious, so Super Saiyan. Add entry 2. I'm not entry. Yeah, entry 1, Super Saiyan 2. Entry 3, Super Saiyan. I keep. So it goes 0 instead of starting at a 1. So my brain's just fucking it up. So, you know. So just remember entry 0 is basically entry 1. Entry 1 is basically entry 2, and so on. So once I get to actual entry 3, Rose, then 4. Okay, so in files, we add in the skill file that we made. So, transformation tutorial, this, skill, right there. Additional data is our jungle sound, which obviously we need, so you add that. Then cuss is the last thing I really need to show you because IMDb is if it's a sellable thing, which, again, we're not making this for CAC. Pup is stats, so you can just add the stats of, like, you know, a vanilla transformation and do whatever you want with the stats. It's your choice. Transformation, you should already know how to do this from my character tutorial on how you have to do the integers, how to add aura, all that. So if you watch that, you'll know this. So BCS, not needed, again, because this is not a CAC changing thing. So all we need to worry about is cuss. So first, I usually do my codes as 4 letters, since skills can have this code name thing as 4 letters. So SK, so SCUV, I'll just do that. So because this is my CAC, this is my X2M thing, I'm going to put 1 for part set. I'm going to take a quick cut so I can grab a skill I already have done to see what I would do for this, so it could be easier to follow. We're back, opening this up. So type, this is a transformation, so 118. Now this, I'm always confused with the U0E, but usually I always put it at 54. That just works for me. If it doesn't, then I might change it to something else. We'll see. So far, hasn't failed me. So then for this, U12 minus 3, it's always best to do, you always have to do negative 256. Get to the SE, the 8, so the SE, that's when your sound thing comes in handy, you know, when you rename that. Control C, copy that, you know, yada yada. 0, 30, 0, then this, 0, 32, 11, 271, 0, 34, 12, you do that as 3, skill type, do that as 2, model, -1, change skill set, -1, number of transformations, this is a 5 stage, so 5, then, oh, I forgot to do U44 as 2, then lastly, U48 as 0, and that should have the cus file. I am going to now do all my other things of doing stats and then the transformation tab, and I'm going to put it on my character and we'll show it off and he'll be done.